Hey friends, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. Got Zozo here and Loki there. And I got a big tank behind me. Well, you know, we've talked about wanting a root cellar. And we talked to our friend that has built them from scratch, holes in the ground, put in concrete flooring and build it up with blocks. And he said in today's money, we're probably talking $3,500, $4,000 easy. Well, he had a cheaper solution, and I'm not going to tell you how much we paid for it. This is a gas station fuel tank. This thing is 8 feet tall, 16 feet long, goes straight into the ground, and yep, it's got the vent pipes, so we can have ventilation, because if you didn't know, potatoes can kill you. Talk about that a little bit.
Wait, what?
But it's gonna come over here, help us cut a steel door in this, and yeah, you can see we piled up some rocks around it. We've got some over here. They kind of collapsed in. I mean, we just got this done, and yes, this is all happening simultaneously with the barn build and some of the other projects we've got going on. But yeah, they came in and he found a guy that was selling these out. He had 3 of them. He was going to build an underground house actually with these. The other 2 that he had were 10 feet tall, and I think he said they were 30 feet long. Well, transporting that was going to be a problem. This we were able to get on a regular trailer, well, a hauling trailer, and he got it over here. We'll throw some footage into that, and got it pushed up here. They got it all dug out, nice and almost level. We have it leaning forward just a little bit, so if there is any condensation or anything, that'll drain out. But
Holy smokes. Nope, you're good. Just be careful.
Back up a little bit, it's not good.
You make me nervous.
Anyway, I guess I wanted to mention, he is also the one. I asked him, I said, do you think this would be a good place for our root cellar? We're not too far from our house, but it's not right in front of the back door or anything. And he said, well, this would actually be a really good spot because just over here is where the old root cellar used to be. But he's like, I can tell you because we've been looking for it. And he's like, I can tell you for a fact, it's gone. The building that was around it burned down years ago, and the block and stuff was kind of crumbling anyway in that root cellar. So he is the one that just scooped it all up with his equipment and kind of buried it all up. So it's buried under here, probably under the duck house or somewhere along there. So this is the very bank where they originally, when they built this house, this is where they put their root cellar. So yeah, quite a project. And I know you guys, the men out there, will especially appreciate the pushing of the tank and all that. And we'll certainly bring you along when we cut this out. See, what else can I tell you? Oh, yes. Well, let's talk about the potatoes for a second. If you're not a fan, if you've not found the Y files, W-H-Y, Y files yet, well, you need to check them out too. Actually, we heard about this on, what's his channel? Mr. Ballin. He is a great storyteller. I love how he goes into these stories and just, it's nothing but him talking, but he draws you in. And anyway, he was talking about this family that, just an average day, and dad was cooking and needed some potatoes, ran down in the basement, and nobody really paid attention. The onions he was frying on the oven burnt, and so they went looking for him. And mom went looking for him. Couldn't find him. Well, we don't know if she couldn't find him. She went down the basement looking for him, and grandma went down. Long story short is because the door to the basement would automatically shut behind, just spring-loaded hinge or whatever. The potatoes, as they ripened, or not ripened, but as they got older, potatoes will actually let off fumes, and if those accumulate, they'll knock you unconscious, and if you continue to breathe them, it'll kill you. And it killed this little girl. Her whole family went down to the basement and killed everybody. except I think Grandma. I think Grandma survived, but horrible story. But it is also a learning story because you don't want to put potatoes in an enclosed room for any length of time without some kind of ventilation. So, like I said, the original holes that they would put the fuel in, and yes, this has been vented out for years. It's been open. There's no fumes left. I've not really been able to see inside, so I'm sure there's going to be some cleaning, and we'll bring you along for that. But we'll actually put pipes up out of the ground and put a U-joint on them so rain doesn't get down in, but allow any fumes or anything like that to ventilate off. Those are the old pear trees that were here, and they're rotted. They were rotting out, and we're going to fall down. And we've got new, younger trees in here to replace them. So that's all got pushed aside. But when we put the septic tank in out at the shop a couple years ago now, well, we won't go into the story, but because of our health department inspector, we actually wound up running a line 500 feet out for a leach field. We'll just leave that alone. Good grief, those guineas. Anyway, so when the guys did this, it was somebody else, not our normal friend that does the grading work for us. When they put it back, this area, this is how we walk from our house out to the barn. We make this trip multiple times a day. Well, the thing was slanted like this, so if you were pulling a wheelbarrow full of anything, you wanted to tip over. So a lot of this dirt here, you can see it's muddy, but it's level once again. So that's where a lot of that dirt went. Some of it went up over the top. Why don't I take you up there and you can look over the top of it and you'd be like, oh, you can't even tell there was a tank there, for the most part. I'll take you up there. Okay, so you can see the disturbed dirt. The duck house is just on the other side of, when I was recording earlier, to my right, that's where the duck house is. That's where you're looking at, but you know, it just kind of domed over. There's a new pear tree. That one is a Anjou pear. You've got another pear tree right next to you, and then an almond, and I think another peach along here. So almost another mini food forest in a way, and maybe it will become that. Maybe we'll put some blueberries in here and create the guilds around them, and this will be a food forest on this side and a food forest on that side. But anyway, I just wanted to show you there's a lot of dirt displaced. That's a big barrel, but we just smoothed it on out here. And you know, one thing I'll show you, and I guess we'll go back down there, but back in the day, before there were waste stations, dump sites, the dump, people would just burn their trash, and then anything that wouldn't burn, like glass, they'd just dig a hole, bury it, and that was the end of it for them. Well, yeah, we found one of those, and you know, we're always hoping that as we're digging and exploring, we'll find some kind of treasure. Kind of found a treasure, but I'll take you back down there and show you what we found, and then I think we'll wrap up. All right, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I see the cord pulled out of my camera, so I just reseated it. Anyway, so you know, we're always looking for some kind of treasure. Well, we found an old glass, the spiral glass Pepsi bottle. I know it was a Pepsi bottle. Still had part of the sticker. It was pretty well worn away, but after getting it out of the wet ground and drying out, it just flaked off when I picked it up. That's sad. It's kind of cool. You can actually still see some of the bubbles in the glass itself, but I don't know. We'll probably just keep it back in the root cellar once we get the shelves built in there, and yeah, just kind of cool. That would bring you along one of the many projects that are simultaneously happening, because hey, when that equipment's here, you know, it just makes sense to have it done if the guys have time to do it, because every time you bring one of those tractors in and out of here, I think it's $150 for transporting it. So saves money in the long run. But anyway, if you have not checked out our charity, the GEM Foundation, that's J-E-M, gemfoundation.com, check it out. That's what our barn is about, and the animal therapy and all the things that we're trying to help kids that are struggling with mental illness. How else can you support us? You make sure you thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And of course, it's getting spring soon anyway. Get those hory knives ordered and some deodorant. And before you know it, the comfrey will be up and we'll be able to sell comfrey root again, but not yet. I've seen a couple of them peeking out of the ground a little bit, but we're about to get another freeze, so we're not digging it up yet. But anything else? Not that I know of, but I sure appreciate you stopping by and checking things out. And of course, we always appreciate your prayers, and you know, we're praying for you and everybody out there in this crazy world. And you know, as I say, I always pray for all the animals in the shelters, that they find good, loving homes. And that's one thing that definitely weighs on my mind. And if you've got room and can adopt a wonderful dog or cat, please do it. They all need good homes. Anyway, all right, let's get you out of here. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. Go in peace. Serve the Lord. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody. Loki, parting words? Bye.
Make it so.